You know, folks, I've talked before here on the channel about how my dad used to warn me about being careful of the company I keep. And what he meant by that was if you hang around certain kinds of people and they're doing certain kinds of things, then people are automatically going to assume that you're doing it right along with them. And if not, they're going to assume that it's at least not a deal breaker for you. And that leads me to one of my favorite sayings: if you sit in a barbershop long enough, you'll get a haircut. But Donald Trump does not care who he appeals to. He will appeal to the absolute worst of people, anything to get a vote. And I really believe at the end of the day, why that he appeals to these hateful groups and these hateful people is because they are the most easily led and easily manipulated people. They're fragile people who are very weak and needs to have some sort of gratification. And Trump gives them strength and makes them believe that their voice is heard. And so what they don't realize, and I think what a lot of people don't realize, is they're the most easily manipulated and led people that there are. Trump knows he can control them, so he doesn't care one bit to go out and appeal to people like this. And someone who is exactly like I'm talking about is none other than Charlie Kirk, who's the founder of Turning Point USA. He's one of Trump's biggest fangirls. And no matter what he has said about the likes of Martin Luther King and the Civil Rights Movement and the Civil Rights Act, no matter what he says, Trump won't distance himself from it because it's not deal breakers to Trump, because all he's out for is to get votes. So I'm going to bring you up this story here from the Midas Touch Network, because just when you think Trump can't get any lower, remember, he always can. Trump schedules a Georgia rally with Charlie Kirk, anti-MLK activist, on Martin Luther King III's birthday. Now, I want to play a little bit of this video here before we get rolling. It's like 5 minutes and 58 seconds long. We won't listen to the entire thing, but I do want you guys to hear Charlie Kirk talking about Martin Luther King and the Civil Rights Act so that you'll understand just what kind of person this guy truly is. Let's go ahead and play it.
Some holy figure. So I'm going to read this email from...
Must be a religion blog.
Who is this guy? I don't know.
Secular saint.
He says, "Hi, I'm a reporter with Wired Magazine in New York. I'm reaching out because we're publishing a story about Charlie Kirk's comments on Martin Luther King Jr. and his plan to release content about King on January 15th. Mind you, they act like I'm planning a terrorist attack. Like the way this is written, his plans to create content on January 15th. Like what? I mean, like what am I, like planning like a terrorist attack on Christmas Day? We note in our piece. Oh, so you already wrote the piece. That's what I love about this, right? They're not asking me for comment. They're trying to fill in a couple of gaps. We note in our piece. Oh, so you already wrote the piece. We note in our piece that Kirk describes King as, quote, a bad guy. It's true. And Kirk self-described very, very radical view that the country made a mistake when it passed the Civil Rights Act. Also true. As we note in the piece, Kirk has previously described Kirk as a hero and a civil rights icon. It's true. I used to be wrong. What inspired Kirk to shift his view on MLK? Why does Kirk think that MLK is a bad guy? When Kirk says that MLK says, quote, one good thing he didn't believe, what does he mean by that? Why does Kirk believe passing the Civil Rights Act was a mistake? Now, again, apparently they don't listen to the show because we do that at least once a week, right? Once a week we talk about why the Civil Rights Act was a mistake. Does Kirk
So yeah, at least once a week they talk about why the Civil Rights Act was a mistake. I'll go ahead and stop right there because you guys can see exactly what kind of person this is. And again, this is not a deal breaker for Trump. If Charlie Kirk can get Trump votes, he does not care to bring those people into the fold because he knows how easily led and manipulated they can be. But let's read the story here. Trump just announced a new rally in Georgia with Charlie Kirk, the head of Turning Point USA, a MAGA Republican organization based out of Arizona. Turning Point is an official partner with the Trump campaign. The rally will be held near Atlanta, MLK's hometown, and the church that he pastored. The date of Trump's rally will be held on October 23rd, the birthday of MLK's son and outspoken Trump critic Martin Luther King III. Kirk's group has been promoting Trump online at events and has been knocking on doors for Trump in swing states. The group is promoting the newly announced Georgia rally on social media. And here it is, Georgia for Trump. Join us for special guest, Donald J. Trump. There it is. So MLK's second-born son has been critical of Trump, stating the GOP's nominee is only encouraging division and hatred, displays blatant racism and misogyny, and is a dangerous extremist. That's absolutely true. Trump rally partner Kirk has been regularly attacking MLK this year. Kirk called MLK a bad guy, questioned that the civil rights leader should be should have his own holiday and federal monument, and has called the passing of the Civil Rights Act a mistake. Kirk also suggested black voters would become Trump supporters if MAGA Republicans would attack MLK. Trump has yet to address his close association with an anti-MLK enthusiast that he is partnering with. Despite one of Trump's own advisors calling Kirk a white supremacist, Kirk stated that he still had the support of Trump after attacking the civil rights leader. Trump is still associating with Kirk and is banking on his group to turn out votes in key states. Why is Trump openly associating with someone who openly attacks MLK? Well, again, I really believe that the answer is because he wants votes and because he does not care who he appeals to as long as they will stroke his ego. That's really all it boils down to for Trump. I really believe that if any of us just suddenly started turning and flipped the script and begin to praise him, I believe he would praise us back or love us back. And I think if we said the slightest bit of criticism, one way or the other, he would be right back down on us, calling us the radical left. It just goes to show how uneducated people are on the political arena if you think Joe Biden is radical left. You know, when I hear him say that, the first time I ever heard him say it, I laughed out loud. And I said to myself, no reasonable person should parrot that. No one should say that. Joe Biden is not radical left. And in my mind, I know this will probably be a controversial statement in some ways. There may be some people on the left that will disagree with me. But I don't really think we have a radical left in government. Yeah, there's radical leftists out there, but I don't really feel that we have them in government. Now, some people would point to someone like Bernie or AOC and say they're further to the left. Yeah, they're definitely farther left than Biden would be, but I still don't consider them radical left. And I've talked with people from places like Germany and different countries where they're like, yeah, if like Bernie was over here, he would be kind of left of center. Biden would be more right of center. I don't understand. I mean, we do have a radical left in this country, but I'm saying they really don't have any control in government. That's just a straw man that Donald Trump built up, and he knew if he called us the radical left enough that people would believe it. So he's always going to associate with the likes of Charlie Kirk and Laura Loomer. And when we call him out, he doesn't care that the media calls that stuff out, because when they do, that's just ratings for him. And he said himself, it's all about the ratings. If you get the ratings, the rest of it doesn't matter. So he truly is going out there like the bad guy wrestler that is breaking the rules behind the referee's back, and the whole crowd can see him doing it. But when the referee turns around and asks him, he puts his hands up and says, no, not me. I would never do that. And then looks back at the crowd and smirks. That's the kind of guy that Trump is. And I know I'm always drawing the parallels between Donald Trump and pro wrestling, but folks, if you really study how pro wrestling goes about, getting over the bad guy, the villain, the heel, whatever you want to call him, I feel like Trump has ripped straight from that playbook. When he came out with when he came out at the debate with Hillary Clinton, and he had the women who had accused Bill Clinton with him, that was straight out of Ravishing Rick Rude. That was straight out of Ric Flair. Back when Ric Flair feuded with Ricky Steamboat was doing, the gimmick that he was a straight edge, clean cut family man, and he would come out with his wife and kid. So what did Flair do? He walked out with like 6 women on each arm. Like, hey, wouldn't you like to have one of these, pal? So I just feel like that's exactly what Trump's pulling from, and he doesn't care to appeal to that kind of people. And the fact that he doesn't care really tells you everything you need to know about him, because all I can say is that wouldn't be the kind of people I would want in my audience. I wouldn't want those type of people to feel empowered by me. And I wouldn't want them to be, taking things that I say as dog whistles and feeling like they were somebody. I don't think what Trump has done here, in my mind, the things he's done when it comes to racism and the people he's partnered with and rallied with, I think it's unforgivable. In my mind, these are things that I don't think he could ever be forgiven for. And really, I struggle with the concept of forgiveness because, can you really ever forget? No matter what happens going forward, will we ever really forget this time in American history when so many people sat back and turned a blind eye to this stuff, or just let it go on? It's truly disgusting. And I really wish that all I can hope for as we go forward is that we're able to pick up the pieces, and we'll try our best. I think that's what we'll be doing for years to come. I've had people say, where's your content going to go once Trump's out of the picture? Well, he's not going to be out of the picture for a long time, because he's a guy who has done so much damage to the faith in our institutions and our democracy and the way things work, that we're going to be here picking up the pieces long after he's gone. And there will be politicians come along who will try to pick up his mantle and run with it. And so we're in for the long haul, folks. We're going to win in November. I truly believe that we are. I have so many people say, do you think we will? Yeah. I think there could be chaos. I think there could be a lot of, it could be hectic for a while, but I really believe we'll come out on the other side of it. But we're still going to have to put in the work to restore some faith in democracy and in our institutions, because Donald Trump has destroyed it. But folks, I want to thank you guys so much for supporting what it is that I do. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It's free to do so. Hit that. That way you'll be notified whenever I post new content. And if you would like to see exclusive content, you can join us over on Patreon. That is in the link on this video. I'm going to be posting more non-political stuff over there, more music, and more, just talking about our favorite movies and songs and, cigars and whatever. We'll just have a good time over there, because one thing we started doing was playing some songs, and we had people say, it's good to take a break from the politics. So we're going to be pushing stuff like that over there. If you want to try it out, go over and check it out. If you want to try it on for size, try it on for a while. If you like it, keep it. If you don't, I understand $1 hard to come by these days. And the last thing I want to do is sit here and grift anybody. I'm not trying to. I can't sit here and criticize Trump all day and then go down that road. But anyway, I thank you guys so much for supporting what it is that I do, all of you. And we'll just keep pushing forward, keep putting the work in, and we'll get past all this eventually.